Thank you. The next speaker we have is from the John Locke Foundation. The John Locke Foundation was created in 1990 as an independent, nonprofit think tank that would work for truth, freedom, and the future of North Carolina. The foundation is named for John Locke, an English philosopher whose writings inspired Thomas Jefferson and the other founders. The John Locke Foundation envisions a North Carolina of responsible citizens, strong families, and successful communities committed to individual liberty and limited constitutional government. Here to tell us more is Becki Gray.
Thank you, Laura, for that great introduction, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Becki Gray. I work for the John Locke Foundation. If you don't know about us, you need to. We brought some information. We have a table over here, so stop by and visit us before you leave. We brought copies of our newspaper, Carolina Journal, and some other materials. We'll get you a free subscription to Carolina Journal, best investigative reporting in North Carolina. We put more corrupt politicians in prison than any other news media. And we have a lot of fun doing it. This is sort of like old home week for me, if you will. We've been involved with a lot of our Tea Party friends. We've been invited to participate in a lot of tea parties, beginning in 2010 around the state capitol. And many of you all I know were there that day. So this really is kind of like old home week again for me. And in 2010, if you remember, when we started this, when this Tea Party movement started in North Carolina, at that time we were worried about a lot of things. We were concerned about high taxes. We were concerned about threats to our property rights. We were concerned about a government that had gotten too big and cost too much. We were worried about schools that were failing our children and government regulations that were strangling our business and our economy in North Carolina. And since then, we've been pretty busy. We've had a lot of candidates. During the 2010 election cycle, we elected record numbers of conservatives across the state of North Carolina. Many county commissions flipped from liberal rule to more of a conservative slant on county commissions across North Carolina. Many outstanding candidates stepped up. Many activists stepped up to run for public office. Many of you were behind them, supported them financially with your work. For the first time in well over 100 years, conservatives now control the North Carolina General Assembly. So we've come a long way. And we've made a difference. In the last year, and if you think about this, it's just amazing to me that really just since the last election here in North Carolina, we are really making a difference. Our state government rejected tax increases despite really very hard-fought arguments for increases from the governor and other liberals across the state, but they stood firm and they rejected tax increases. They reduced the size and scope of government for the first time in many, many years. We're starting to see those changes are making a difference here in North Carolina. It's what is turning the economy around. It is these kind of decisions that make a difference, that putting the money back into the hands of those of us, the taxpayers, to reinvest that money, to start businesses, to grow businesses, is the way that we're going to get North Carolina back on track. And finally, we've got people in charge who understand that. Something else that they did at this North Carolina General Assembly is they rewrote medical malpractice laws to get rid of frivolous lawsuits, which we already are seeing the result of that in lower health insurance costs and lower costs for health care. They've done that in 1 year, and that is not with the government taking over the health care system. It's putting that back in the hands of us, the people. They've reformed workers' compensation laws, which have made a huge difference to small businesses across North Carolina. These reforms have made it fair for business, and we're getting rid of the cheaters in the system, and those are the kind of things that drives up the cost of business. We're getting those under control with reforms in workers' compensation law and the tort reform laws that are making a big difference in businesses and putting that authority back in the hands of business people. They've also cut the red tape of regulation that some of the things that they've done is now rules in North Carolina, regulation in North Carolina that is strangling all of us, can only be for public health and safety reasons, not because some bureaucrat sitting in one of these offices decides that they want to come in and regulate your life and your business. We're also getting rid of outdated and irrelevant rules. These are the kind of things that are going to make a big difference, that are going to get business and the economy back on track in North Carolina. This is a great start. We've made huge inroads in the last couple of years. It's amazing how far we have come and what we've been able to do. But it is not time to rest yet. There is still a lot to do. This next election will be even more important to elect those candidates to the leadership positions that understand conservative principles, understand that in order to get North Carolina's economy back on track, we need to put that control in our hands, in the hands of small businesses, so that we can grow the economy, not the government. That is not the answer. So there's still a lot to do. I hope that you will continue to rely on the John Locke Foundation. We've been around for 22 years and we intend to be around for a whole lot longer. So I'm looking forward to working together again. Stop by our table, say hello. Thank you for everything you're doing. Together we are really making a huge difference here in North Carolina. Thank you so much.